is contagious. Part 1. The operator's mindset and the birth of order. Opening scene. The shop is still. The air smells faintly of coolant, steel, and oil. You can hear your own breath and the hum of lights above the Cincinnati. This is not silence. This is the sound of readiness. Every great operator begins in this sound. Before the first cut, before the first program, before the first mistake, there is calm. You turn the main breaker. Fans engage. Servos awaken. A faint vibration passes through the floor. You rest your hand on the control panel. It feels alive, waiting, respectful. You say nothing yet. You simply stand there, letting the machine know you're not in a hurry. The rule of calm. Calm is not the absence of stress. Calm is control under stress. It's the difference between a man and a machine. One reacts, the other decides. In machining, calm is not optional. It's survival. It's the quiet between disasters where precision lives. Repeat this mnemonic when your pulse climbs. Open quote, breathe, see, think, move, close quote. That's your reset drill. 4 words that bring your head back into alignment. Breathe, see, think, move. No more, no less. Every motion after that belongs to discipline, not emotion. The meaning of precision. Precision is not a number. It's a mindset. Anyone can hold tenths for one part by luck, but only discipline holds tenths across years. Precision begins long before metal touches tool. It begins when you clean the vise, when you wipe your caliper before you measure, when you take 1 extra second to close a drawer completely. Precision is the accumulation of small truths repeated daily. Mnemonic, open quote, small truths stacked to strong trust, close quote. Each honest measurement, each verified setup builds a wall against chaos. The 5 enemies of calm. 1, clutter, the visible enemy. 2, noise, the mental enemy. 3, assumption, the silent enemy. 4, hurry, the sneaky enemy. Ego, the last and hardest enemy. Every mistake you'll ever make comes from one of these 5. You don't eliminate them, you manage them. So we pair each enemy with a countermeasure. Enemy, countermeasure, Clutter, 5S discipline. Noise, focus ritual. Assumption, verification. Hurry, breathing and checklists. Ego, humility before measurement. Repeatable mnemonic. Open quote, order, focus, verify, breathe, close quote. Say it before you cut. Say it when you doubt. The first S, you can't command what you can't see. Sorting is not cleaning, it's judgment. It's learning the difference between a tool you own and a tool that owns space. Everything that does not serve the mission of precision must leave your station, not hidden, gone. Every drawer begins empty. You rebuild it with purpose, not habit. Think of each item as a soldier in your unit. If it has no role, it's dishonorable to keep it in the fight. Mnemonic, open quote, nothing stays without a reason, close quote. The second S, set in order. Now that you've cleared the field, build the structure, a place for everything, and everything earns its place. Arrange by frequency, safety, and sequence. Most used on the right if you're right-handed. Heavy items low. Delicate tools high and cushioned. Shadow every item. Label every drawer. A stranger should be able to stand in your place and find anything in 10 seconds. That's not over-organization. That's tactical readiness. Mnemonic, open quote, fast find, fast fix, close quote. If you can find it fast, you can fix it fast. Lost time equals lost focus. The third S, shine. This is the part most new operators misunderstand. Shining isn't about looking good. It's about inspection through cleaning. When you wipe the ways, you're not polishing. You're checking for leaks, chips, and cracks. When you vacuum the coolant trench, you're learning what your chips say about your cut. Clean surfaces reflect light. Light reveals truth. Truth prevents damage. Mnemonic, open quote, clean metal tells the truth, close quote. You'll know your cutter health just by the color of the chips that fall on your rag. The fourth S, standardize. Here's where we turn habit into doctrine. A standard is not a prison. It's a promise. It says, I will do this the same way every time until proven there's a better way. You standardize so chaos has no place to grow. The same torque on every chuck key. The same rag folded the same way. The same measurement ritual before logging a dimension. Mnemonic, open quote, ritual prevents random, close quote. If you don't control the process, randomness will. The fifth S, sustain. This is the hardest because 5S isn't what you do, it's who you are. You sustain by teaching, not just repeating. When you train another operator, you're not losing time, you're buying permanence. Knowledge left unshared dies the moment you clock out. That's why we call it lean manufacturing. Lean isn't cheap. Lean is wisdom without waste. Mnemonic, open quote, teach to keep, close quote. If you don't teach it, you won't keep it. The operator's triangle. Imagine 3 points. Mind, machine, method. The mind provides calm. The machine provides precision. The method provides repeatability. If any corner collapses, chaos enters. You guard all three with the same vigilance you guard your safety. Mnemonic, open quote, calm mind, clear method, clean machine, close quote. Say it before each shift. Mean it before each cut. Ritual of readiness. Before you start a day, perform the readiness ritual. It takes under 2 minutes and saves hours. 1. Look, is the station clean? Tools in place? 2. Listen, does the coolant pump sound right? 3. Touch, any burrs on jaws or wrenches? 4. Breathe, slow your heart, center your mind. 5. Command, approach the machine with intent. If anything feels wrong, stop. The gut is part of the gauge set. Mnemonic, open quote, look, listen, touch, breathe, command, close quote. The psychology of order. There's a reason Marines shine boots before battle. It's not vanity, it's control. It tells the mind, if I can control this, I can control more. The same psychology governs machining. If you can keep a drawer perfect, you can hold a diameter perfect. Order feeds confidence. Confidence breeds calm. Calm protects precision. Mnemonic chain, open quote, order, confidence, calm, precision, close quote. Repeat it until it's muscle memory. The operator's environment. Your machine is not just a tool, it's a living system. Coolant, spindle, control, air, temperature, human, all interacting. A disciplined operator treats environment like ammunition, always clean, always accounted for. Temperature affects tense, humidity affects rust, lighting affects perception. If you can't see it, you can't trust it. Maintain full spectrum light, no flicker, no shadows on gauges. Mnemonic, open quote, light sharpens sight, close quote. Half lesson review, auditory recap. Let's lock in the first half. Say each header phrase once aloud or in your mind. 1. Breathe, see, think, move. 2. Small truths stacked to strong trust. 3. Order, focus, verify, breathe, respect. Nothing stays without a reason. Fast find, fast fix. Clean metal tells the truth. 7. Ritual prevents random. 8. Teach to keep. 9. Calm mind, clear method, clean machine. 10. Look, listen, touch, breathe, command. 11. Order, confidence, calm, precision. 12. Light sharpens sight. That's your mental armory. You'll carry these phrases until they become reflexes. And when you train others, you'll hear yourself saying them like doctrine. Steady, firm, never loud. Transition to part 2. You've now built the mental ground on which precision stands. In the next half of lesson 1, you'll move from order to attitude. How humility, situational awareness, and rhythm turn routine into mastery. We'll finish with your first operator's creed. Spoken, not memorized. Lived, not recited. Written like a living oath, not a speech. The style will stay military, calm, deliberate, instructional. Think of it as hearing a seasoned gunnery sergeant who's traded his rifle for a micrometer, explaining why both require the same discipline. Lesson 1. The foundation of precision. Calm is contagious. Part 2. Rhythm, humility, and the creed of the operator. The opening. You stand in front of the machine again. It's clean, ready, alive. Yesterday, you prepared the ground, sorted, labeled, built order. Today, you build rhythm. A machine without rhythm is chaos. A man without rhythm is noise. Precision lives in the tempo between the two. You're not just learning machining, you're learning timing. Because metal doesn't care how strong you are, it only respects your timing. You're about to learn what musicians, marksmen, and machinists all know. Open quote, the rhythm of repetition is the heartbeat of skill. The sixth sense, the operator's rhythm. Every experienced machinist has it. You'll see them tap a wrench twice before tightening. Wipe a jaw the same way every time. Pause half a second before cycle start. That's not superstition, that's rhythm. It's the tempo that keeps chaos out of the cut. You don't rush, you don't drag, you flow. Mnemonic rhythm key, open quote, slow is smooth, smooth is fast, fast is safe. Close quote, say it as you breathe, slow, smooth, fast, safe. The repetition anchors calm. When rhythm becomes habit, mistakes slow down before they happen. You'll start catching errors before motion. That's the mind-muscle feedback loop forming. This is your anchor technique, pairing a motion with a phrase. When you clean, you say clear to see. When you measure, truth before trust. When you cut, smooth is safe. Those short verbal anchors wire the movement to the mindset. Over time, you won't need to say them. Your hands will remember before your mouth does. Humility as the guardrail. Arrogance is the most expensive habit in the shop. It costs tools, parts, and sometimes lives. The day you think you can't crash, the machine reminds you. The day you think you can't learn, a younger operator teaches you without saying a word. Humility isn't weakness, it's armor. It keeps your mind open, your hands careful, your tone teachable. Repeat this quietly when you start your day. Open quote, I am not perfect, I am precise. Close quote, perfection is fantasy, precision is discipline. You can't hit perfect, but you can aim within 2/10 of it every time. And that difference between ego and intent is everything. Mnemonic, open quote, ego rushes, precision listens, close quote. Visualization, the mental blueprint. Before every operation, visualize the cut. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. See the part spinning. See the tool moving in, the chip forming, the coolant breaking across the surface. Then in your mind, run the tool path backwards, returning safely to home. That's not daydreaming. That's neural rehearsal. Athletes use it. Snipers use it. Pilots use it. You will too. It wires your muscle memory before the first chip flies. Mnemonic, open quote, see the cut before it's real. Close quote. Add rhythm. Say it once, breathe, picture it. The sharper your mental image, the fewer physical mistakes you'll make. Environmental control, commanding the space. A disciplined operator commands not just the machine, but the space around it. A cluttered shop is a divided mind. If your body has to step over cords or reach awkwardly for a gauge, you're already losing control. Your command area is a circle of precision, about 6 feet in radius. Inside that circle, everything serves purpose. Outside it, everything waits until needed. Every move should feel like part of a pattern, efficient, quiet, controlled. Mnemonic, open quote, my circle, my calm, close quote. You defend that circle like your post. Nobody breaks it without acknowledgement, because inside it, focus reigns. Discipline under distraction. The modern shop hums with pressure, management clocks, customers calling, coworkers asking questions. You'll never have a perfect environment, so you make one internally. When noise invades, return to your anchor phrase, breathe, see, think, move, say it even under your breath. That 4-step loop brings you back online faster than any supervisor's voice could. And when you do speak, keep it calm and brief. Machinists who stay calm when others panic become the ones everyone trusts when things go wrong. That's leadership born from silence. Mnemonic, open quote, quiet minds lead loud rooms, close quote. The power of inspection. Inspection is not paperwork. It's communication between the machine and the human. When you measure, you're not checking numbers, you're listening to feedback. Every gauge is a translator. It tells you what your machine tried to say in microns and thousandths. Learn to listen. Never trust a single reading. 3 measurements make a truth. If 2 disagree, find the cause. Never average an error. Mnemonic, open quote, measure 3 to believe 1, close quote. The emotional cycle of the cut. Every operation has 3 mental phases: anticipation, engagement, review. Anticipation, planning, setting up, rehearsing the motion. 2, engagement, the moment of the cut when emotion must vanish. 3, review, reflection, documentation, calm return. You never skip the review. It's what transforms labor into mastery. After each job, take 60 seconds, wipe the tools, write a note in the log, adjust one thing for tomorrow. Mnemonic, open quote, plan, cut, review, improve, close quote. That phrase should mark the end of every job, like a closing ceremony. Peer teaching, the path to sustainability. If you teach one thing, you learn it twice. When you train another operator, you reinforce your own understanding. You don't have to lecture, just narrate what you're doing. Say it aloud. This is why I align the jaws first, or this is why I check the stop with a feeler. Your words create memory hooks not only for them, but for you. When you can explain something calmly, it means your mind truly owns it. Mnemonic, open quote, explain once, remember forever, close quote. Personal standards and pride. Clean drawers and shiny tools don't exist for inspection. They exist for identity. They say, this is who I am when nobody's watching. That's pride without arrogance. Every Marine knows the difference between ego and pride. Ego is noise. Pride is quiet confidence born from order. When your work area looks disciplined, your output follows. Mnemonic, open quote, pride is silent but precision speaks, close quote. The mental checklist reinforcement technique. Here's your second memory system. Mental acronym anchoring. We'll build one for your daily startup. The acronym is clear, simple, fast, easy to remember. Letter, meaning, reminder. C, clean workspace. No chips, no chaos. L, lights and visibility. See clearly, cut clearly. E, equipment ready. Check coolant, air, and chuck. Attitude check, calm before code. Review last note. Yesterday teaches today. Say clear before every shift. It takes under 30 seconds. It keeps your mind in alignment with your environment. Mnemonic, open quote, be clear before you cut, close quote. Respect for the machine. A machine is not a servant, it's a partner with no mercy. It obeys perfectly, that's why it's dangerous. The operator who blames the machine is still an amateur. The professional understands it did exactly what I told it to do. So every alarm is a lesson. Every crash, a confession. Every perfect cut, a salute. Mnemonic, open quote, the machine obeys, the operator commands, close quote. Say that once each morning before power on. It reestablishes authority, not domination, but responsibility. Philosophy of patience. You cannot rush thousands. You can't push calm into metal. Patience is not slowness. It's accuracy stretched over time. Every master you'll ever meet has this look when something goes wrong. Stillness. No panic. Just silence, breath, and analysis. That's the trained response. Calm isn't natural. It's built. Mnemonic, open quote, still hands cut true, close quote. Whenever you feel your pulse climbing, stop, rest your fingertips on the vise, and repeat it. That tactile contact resets focus faster than any pep talk. Building the internal clock. With time, you'll develop what machinists call the inner timer. You'll start to sense spindle RPM and feed by ear. You'll know when a tool is dull before it fails. That's not superstition. It's pattern recognition refined through repetition. The more consistent your setup rituals, the faster your subconscious learns timing. When the machine rhythm and your breathing sync, production becomes flow. Mnemonic, open quote, if I breathe with the spindle, I'm in control, close quote. The operator's creed. Now we take all this and forge it into words meant to be spoken quietly, before a shift or before training another. Calm is contagious. Precision is respect. Every cut begins in silence. Every thousandth begins in patience. I will not rush truth. I will not trust what I have not verified. My discipline is my safety. My order is my efficiency. My calm is the strength that steadies this machine. I am the operator. I do not guess. I know. I build clarity from chaos. I honor the craft with clean hands and clear thoughts. I serve no schedule but the one called accuracy. When I teach, I preserve. When I measure, I respect. When I stand before the machine, I represent all who ever cut before me. Calm is contagious. Precision is respect. Close quote. End of Lesson 1, Part 2. Review, memory anchors from Lesson 1, Part 2. Theme mnemonic technique. Precision is respect. Rhythm slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Fast is safe. Rhythmic repetition. Humility. I am not perfect. I am precise. Contrast reinforced visualization. See the cut before it's real. Visual imagery. Space control. My circle, my calm. Spatial anchoring. Distraction. Quiet minds lead loud rooms. Reflection. Inspection. Measure 3 to believe 1. Rule of 3 emotional cycle. Plan, cut, review, improve. Sequence memory. Explain once, remember forever. Verbal reinforcement. Pride. Pride is silent, but precision speaks. Emotional anchoring. Startup routine. Clear, clean, lights, equipment, attitude, review. Acronym technique. Machine relationship. The machine obeys, the operator commands. Authority affirmation. Patience. Still hands cut true. Tactile anchor. Flow. If I breathe with the spindle, I'm in control. Rhythmic next lesson, Lesson 2. Knowing the machine, the body, and the brain. We'll translate calm into understanding. Servos, drives, feedback loops, spindle phasing, and the emotional intelligence of the operator's interface, where machine and man share one rhythm. The foundation of precision. Calm is contagious. Cinematic Auditory Edition. 500 words. Dawn in the shop. It's still dark outside when you unlock the side door. The hallway smells of cutting oil and dusted aluminum. Your boots echo once across concrete, then the world narrows to the glow of the Cincinnati Millicron waiting at the far end of the bay. The air hums, transformer, coolant chiller, distant compressor. You set your thermos down, hear the faint pop of the seal, and breathe in coffee and metal. The light above the machine flickers once and steadies. Steel on paint, gray and solid, the Millicron stands like a bunker, unmoved, unhurried, absolute. You press the power button, relays click. Servos wake. The machine takes its breath before you take yours. This is where discipline begins, not at the control panel, but in the silence before it. Presence before you touch a single button, stand still. Feel the floor vibrate through your soles. Listen for coolant returning through the lines, the faint hiss of air purge, the way the spindle housing creaks as temperature rises. These are not background noises. They are indicators. The experienced operator hears them and already knows if today will go smooth or sideways. Open quote. Mnemonic 1. Hear before you act. Close quote. Every good day starts by listening, not to the supervisor, not to the schedule, to the machine itself. You rest your hand on the control casing, warm now. It's alive. That warmth means current, current means life, and life demands respect. The rule of calm. Calm isn't comfort. Calm is command under pressure. When the spindle spins too fast or the feed climbs too heavy, calm is what keeps your hands from flinching and your mind from freezing. Breathe once. Exhale through your teeth. Focus narrows, pulse slows. Now you're operating. Open quote, mnemonic 2. Breathe, see, think, move. Close quote. 4 beats. Every motion in this shop will ride that rhythm. You will breathe, you will look, you will think, then you will move. Order before action. The first job of the morning is not cutting metal. It's establishing order. You check the bench. Rag folded, wrenches laid parallel, gauge blocks dry and clean. No clutter, no confusion. A clean bench is a calm brain. Wipe the handles, sweep chips, check coolant level, empty the rag bin. It's not housekeeping. It's situational awareness expressed physically. Open quote, mnemonic 3. Clean equals clear. Close quote. When everything visible is under control, the invisible, judgment, timing, precision, falls into alignment. The 5 enemies. Every operator eventually meets the same 5 enemies. Clutter, noise, assumption, hurry, ego. You defeat them every day, one by one. Clutter hides hazards. Noise steals focus. Assumption blinds judgment. Hurry trips precision. Ego erases humility. Counter each with its opposite. Order, focus, verification, breathing, respect. Repeat that pair until it sticks. Open quote. Mnemonic 4. Order, focus, verify, breathe, respect. Close quote. That's not decoration for a poster. It's armor for your attention. Sorting the battlefield. You open the first drawer. Micrometers sleep in their foam cutouts, 2-inch through 6-inch. Each gets wiped with a light rag of preservative oil. That film is a handshake between steel and time. You check the calibration tags, still current. Good. They are the rifles of this craft. Precise, inspected, deadly accurate. They will serve you only as well as you serve them. Anything unverified leaves the drawer. Tools without purpose are distraction made solid. Open quote. Mnemonic 5. Nothing stays without a reason. Close quote. Setting in order. On the wallboard, calipers hang left to right by size. Thread wires, plug gauges, depth mic, each shadow marked. The right tool, right place, right orientation. When adrenaline spikes, you shouldn't need to look for anything. Your hand should already know where it is. Fast find, fast fix. Open quote, mnemonic 6. Location is speed. Close quote. Speed not from haste, but from certainty. Shine and inspect. The rag isn't just for looks. You wipe because wiping reveals. Clean metal tells truth. Oil spots show leaks. Burned chips show heat. The shop's best inspectors are its cleanest operators. Open quote, mnemonic 7. Clean metal tells truth. Close quote. When you shine, you inspect. When you inspect, you learn. Every pass of the rag is reconnaissance. Standardization. The Millicron doesn't need inspiration. It needs consistency. Every handle turned with the same torque, every jaw wiped in the same order, every tool offset recorded the same way. That repetition isn't boring. It's building reliability into muscle memory. Open quote, mnemonic 8. Ritual prevents random. Close quote. Randomness is what destroys tools, scrapes knuckles, and ruins tolerances. Your ritual is your shield. You finish setup, wipe your hands, and glance at the clock. The new apprentice will arrive in 20 minutes. He'll look nervous. He'll ask questions that seem small. That's when sustainability begins. Teaching isn't charity, it's continuity. If knowledge stays only in one head, it dies when that head clocks out. Open quote, mnemonic 9, teach to keep, close quote. So you prepare to explain why the jaws face right, why the mics rest handle out. Every answer reinforces your own discipline. The operator's triangle mind, machine, method. Three sides of one truth. The mind directs calm. The machine executes motion. The method connects the two. If any side collapses, the structure fails. Open quote, mnemonic 10, calm mind, clear method, clean machine. Close quote, walk that triangle every morning. Ritual of readiness. You stand back from the millicron and run your pre-cut ritual. 1, look clean station, no obstructions. 2, listen, no rattle, no alarm tone. 3, touch, no heat where there shouldn't be. 4, breathe, slow in, slow out. 5, command, reach forward with purpose. That sequence becomes instinct. When stress arrives, and it will, that ritual will steady your hands. Open quote, mnemonic 11, look, listen, touch, breathe, command. Close quote. Psychology of order. Shined brass and spotless floors were never about vanity. They were about mindset. When you impose order on matter, you remind your brain that chaos answers to you. It's the same here. A wiped chuck jaw is a declaration. I control this environment. Order breeds confidence. Confidence breeds calm. Calm breeds precision. Precision breeds respect. That's the chain of command for craftsmanship. Environmental control. Light sharpens sight. You adjust the overheads until no glare hides the jaws. You keep one rag dry for optics only, glass, readouts, gauge faces. Dust is distortion, and distortion leads to misread numbers. Open quote, mnemonic 12, light reveals, shadow lies. Close quote. Environmental control is not aesthetics, it's accuracy protection. Mental anchor technique. Before the first job loads, run a 5-second mental check anchored to touch, right hand on control knob, left on vice handle. Say to yourself, ready, steady, exact. The tactile cue locks your focus. Do it every time before power start. That repetition builds neural tracks stronger than caffeine ever could. Open quote, mnemonic 13, ready, steady, exact. Close quote. Humility and respect. You will make mistakes. Every operator does, but humility converts mistakes into data. When you own an error, you prevent its return. If you ever feel tempted to blame the machine, remember, the millicron only does exactly what you told it. Open quote, mnemonic 14, the machine obeys, the operator commands. Close quote, say it once each morning. It recenters responsibility where it belongs with you. Transition, the first cut coolant flows, spindle hum builds. You watch the digital readout count down to 0. The first chip curls, bright silver, lands in the tray and hisses. That's the sound of discipline made visible. The shop brightens by it. For a second, you just watch it fall, one perfect spiral of truth. Review of new terms and principles terms introduced. Work 0, the part coordinate origin where all measurements begin. Tool offset, the stored distance between spindle reference and cutting edge. Ritual of readiness, 5-step pre-cut inspection and focus routine. Operator's triangle, mind, machine, method, and equilibrium. Mental anchor, physical cue tied to focus phrase for instant concentration. Principles to retain. 1, calm is control under stress. 2, clean equals clear. 3, ritual prevents random. 4, teach to keep. 5, the machine obeys, the operator commands. Mnemonic reinforcements. Hear before you act. Breathe, see, think, move. Clean metal tells truth. Calm mind, clear method. Clean machine. Ready, steady, exact. Practical drill before power up tomorrow. 1, stand motionless for 10 seconds. Listen for every sound in the bay. 2, touch the control panel and repeat ready, steady, exact. 3, run the 5-step ritual of readiness aloud. 4, visualize the first cut and the first chip before you make it. End phrase, open quote. Repeat these truths until they become reflex, then continue. Close quote. Coda, the millicron idles in a pool of blue light. Steam from coolant drifts upward and curls toward the rafters. You wipe the micrometer one last time and hang it back in its shadow. The bay is quiet again, but not silent. There's the low heartbeat of readiness in the floor, and in your own chest an answering rhythm. Calm is contagious. Precision is respect. Tomorrow, we build on both. End of Lesson 1A. Lesson 1B will begin where this leaves off. Rhythm, humility, visualization, and the full operator's creed. Acknowledged. Lesson 1B will pick up in the same quiet authority tone, still set within the Cincinnati Millicron Bay at daybreak. but the teaching will flow more like story than drill. Instead of many mnemonics, I'll use word associations and natural repetition that anchor ideas through imagery and pacing. Roughly 500 words, written to sound right aloud, ending with a short reflective review. Lesson 1B, the foundation of precision. Calm is contagious. Part B, rhythm, humility, and the operator's creed. The shop wakes by mid-morning, the light has changed. The bay doors leak a pale gold across the concrete, catching on the edges of steel stocks stacked by the wall. Coolant vapor glows in that light. It rises and fades like breath. You can smell the faint sweetness of whey oil mixed with metal dust. The Cincinnati hums, steady, patient, the same rhythm it's held since before sunrise. You wipe the control screen with a dry rag and think of the hours still ahead. Rough cuts, offsets, measurements, logs. Repetition will fill the day, but repetition is where rhythm hides. You learn to move like the machine. No faster, no slower, just exact. Finding rhythm. Every operation has a beat. Chuck close, spindle start, coolant flow, feed engage. Between each sound there's a space, a pause that lets the mind stay ahead of the motion. Rush the space and tension climbs. Stretch it too long and rhythm breaks. So you match your breath to the machine. Inhale with feed, exhale with retract. Precision feels musical when done right. You can almost hear a tempo in the turning. That's not imagination, that's coordination between pulse and process. When your breathing and the spindle's tone fall in line, you stop noticing noise. You only notice pattern. Pattern is comfort. Comfort is control. Humility in the cycle. You watch a chip curl wrong, dull color, too much friction, and you feel irritation flash behind the eyes. That's pride pushing forward. But pride doesn't sharpen tools. Humility does. You kill the spindle, check edge wear, log the observation. Small act, large consequence. Mistakes are messages, not insults. You keep a scrap piece on the bench as proof. Each gouge on its surface is a reminder that arrogance costs steel. Humility isn't weakness. It's feedback accepted without resistance. A humble operator stays teachable. A teachable operator becomes unstoppable. Word association. Humility equals feedback. Every time you measure, that's feedback. Every time you listen to the machine, feedback. Treat feedback as an ally, not a critic. Visualization. Before the next job, you stand a moment, eyes half closed. You picture the bar stock mounted, the tool approaching, coolant breaking into spray. You picture success, not luck, but process executed cleanly. The mind cuts first. The tool only follows. This small act of imagination saves hours of correction. When you rehearse visually, the brain marks paths. Later, the body travels them like old roads. That's why the best machinists look calm even when deadlines tighten. They've already been through the run once in their head. Association, C equals safety. What you can clearly imagine, you rarely destroy. Teaching as continuation. The apprentice arrives. You nod toward the millicron. He watches as you face a part, wipe it, gauge it. You explain only what's necessary. Tool number, offset, reason for depth. He nods too quickly. You stop him. Don't nod, you say. Understand. His uncertainty reminds you of your first day, the same mix of fear and fascination. You realize teaching isn't separate from work, it is the work carried forward. When you explain, you polish your own understanding. Knowledge is stainless only when handled often. Word association. Teach equals preserve. Pride in silence. During lunch, the others joke, compare cycle times, boast about tolerances. You listen, but you don't join in. Pride for you isn't in words, it's in the surface finish apart cooling on the bench. The line where tool met material looks like a horizon at dusk, clean, consistent, unbroken. That's quiet pride, the kind that doesn't need witnesses. In this trade, pride must serve precision, never replace it. Loud pride distracts, silent pride focuses. Word association, pride equals proof. Your proof is measurable, not shouted. The circle of focus. You mark a 6-foot radius around the machine in your mind. Inside it, everything matters. Outside, nothing interrupts. It's an invisible wall that protects concentration. When someone steps inside it without permission, you feel it instantly. You don't snap or scowl, you just step slightly closer to the control. That motion reclaims your space. This circle isn't about ownership, it's about safety and attention. You treat it like a sentry post. The clearer your boundary, the steadier your focus. Association, circle, control, the weight of repetition. By early afternoon, fatigue creeps in. You've faced a dozen parts, adjusted offsets twice, re-zeroed once. Your shoulders ache. The hum of the coolant pump turns hypnotic. Repetition can dull the mind, or it can hone it. The difference lies in awareness. You pause, stretch, glance over your notes. Every adjustment recorded, every measurement logged. The pattern of good work is in those small lines of ink. Routine is not the enemy. Routine is a whetstone, boring to watch, essential to edge. Association, routine equals readiness. Control through patience. A vibration starts in the tool. Chatter ghosts along the finish. You resist the urge to force through it. Instead, you pull back, adjust feed, take another pass. Better. You nod once to yourself. Patience is more than waiting. It's action delayed until certainty returns. The impatient operator blames material. The patient one fixes cause. That difference separates a repairman from a craftsman. Association. Patience equals accuracy. Evening comes. Sunlight leaves stripes across the coolant puddles. You wipe the control screen again, slower this time. The shop settles into its night rhythm. Compressor cycling, a radio low somewhere. You log final dimensions, sign your initials, close the binder. Another day recorded, another proof of control kept. Before power down, you touch the spindle housing once, a small gesture of thanks. Machines don't feel gratitude, but operators should. It reminds you that command and respect are the same posture, seen from opposite sides. Association, respect equals longevity. The machine lasts when respect leads. The operator's creed. You've read versions of this before, printed on walls or carved into brass plates. But here, spoken softly, it means more. It isn't for ceremony, it's for centering. Open quote, calm is contagious, precision is respect. Every cut begins in silence, every thousandth begins in patience. I will not rush truth. I will not trust what I have not verified. My discipline is my safety. My order is my efficiency. My calm is the strength that steadies this machine. I am the operator. I do not guess. I know, close quote. You pause after the last line and let the words settle into the space between you and the machine. There's no applause, no audience, only the hum of systems cooling down. That sound is enough, flexion. You lock up the tool drawers. The air smells cleaner now, faint ozone and iron. You glance once more down the length of the bay. Rows of silent machines, each with its own operator, each a small island of order in a sea of potential chaos. That's the hidden beauty of this trade. So many moving parts, all ruled by people who learn to stay still inside. Tomorrow will be another lesson, another set of numbers, another chance to practice calm. You flick off the lights, and the millicron disappears into darkness, but the hum stays in your head, the steady reminder that precision never sleeps. Terms and concepts from Lesson 1B. Concepts introduced: rhythm, matching breath and motion to maintain consistent timing. Humility, accepting feedback as information, not insult. Visualization, mental rehearsal to reduce error. Teaching, reinforcing mastery through explanation. Circle of focus, maintaining a defined work zone for safety and attention. Routine, using repetition to sharpen reflexes. Patience, delaying action until certainty returns. Respect, sustained care that prolongs both machine life and reputation. Word associations for retention: humility, feedback. See safety, teach, preserve, pride, proof, circle, control, routine, readiness, patience, accuracy, respect, longevity. Practical drill for tomorrow. 1. Before starting a job, close your eyes for 5 seconds and see the cut. 2. During the run, match your breath to the spindle once every minute. 3. When frustration rises, touch the machine housing and say silently, feedback, not failure. 4. End the day by teaching one detail to another person or to yourself in a notebook. End phrase, open quote. Repeat awareness until it becomes instinct. Calm will follow. Close quote. End of Lesson 1B. Next, Lesson 2A, Knowing the Machine.